So this is my 1985 BMW K100 RT restoration. Bought the bike back in late October, early November um, from a very nice man up near Morgan Hill, and got this bike. Plus it has a trailer which I have not painted and not spent any time doing restoration on yet. But we did a full repaint on the bike and a lot of other things that going to go through with you here in the next few minutes. First of all, brought out a piece of the original color. As you can see, the color was faded and bubbling and all kinds of issues going on there with the original color, which I didn't particularly care to stay with. So we went with a authentic BMW color. It is a BMW color. This bike was not made in this color in 1985, but this is a BMW color. This is the 441 Pacific Blue, and it was painted by Cycle Paint, by Jeff at Cycle Paint. That's CYCLEPAINT, one word, cyclepaint.com. All I can say is that it's just an unbelievably beautiful paint job. The detail, the quality of the work is bar none. I'm going to have the trailer painted, and I wouldn't think of having anyone other than Jeff do the work for me. So I can't say enough about it. If you take a close look at the color, you'll see that it has a light metal flake in it, and it's truly a blue jewel, and like I say, every single part of it is just done perfectly. Just absolute show quality in every respect imaginable. I have made a few changes on the bike. First of all, the original windshield. This was the original windshield, which was okay. The only thing about this particular bike is that one of the complaints about this bike is that the engine runs hot and it gets hot behind the fairing. So this particular windshield, I changed. I found this one on eBay. The original windshield was really, it had all kinds of problems and blemishes and what have you on it, and so I decided to remanufacture the windshield part of it myself. The original windshield also didn't have a bow in it, so it was actually creating quite a bit of tension on the piece. Let me grab that original windshield real quick, and you can see. Why don't you move in on that windshield so you can take a close look at it. The original windshield, as you can see, required a fair amount of tension on this piece, and I didn't want that. So what I did was I made a mold. I'm a teacher, so I have access to kilns. I'm a ceramics teacher. So this is the polycarbonate sheet that I purchased. I bought a couple of them, and I used this banding material, made bands on either side, bolted through so that I could suspend it in the kiln till it reached a temperature where I could form the piece and it would hold the bow in it. And just for those of you that are interested in doing your own windshield work, the temperature that they recommend for that polycarb is way too high. I got bend on this at about 260 degrees. 260 degrees over my mold, kept the bend absolutely perfectly. And as you can see, it's really quite a perfect fit and aftermarket. So now I can make windshields at will. The headlight, I changed the original headlight out for a more higher output headlight. It's still the regular H4. I didn't go for the halogen. A lot of electrical work has to take place for that to happen, so I kept with the original voltage, but I looked for a higher output headlamp. Liked that a lot better. Now down under here, the original grill for this was a finer mesh and really quite rusted, and I saw on YouTube a guy down in Southern California that does these incredible restores with these K-bikes. He does a lot of custom work with them. Just, man, they're really beautiful bikes. So look on YouTube for the guy, because he's really an artist with these bikes. Anyway, I saw that he had used a perf like this. This is stainless steel, and it's got a little more open perf. It's got a little more open perf, and so I'm hoping that it will be a lot better cooling going on with this particular product in here rather than the original mesh. Did a lot of cleaning on the bike coming around this side. A lot of cleaning on the bike, and I found a replacement heat shield for this. Almost brand new. I don't think that the guy had ever done anything, had ever even used it. It looked like a completely new replacement part. I bought it for 15 bucks, had it sent to me for another 12, and it replaced out the rusted one. So I've got basically a new heat shield on here. The Corbin seat was on the bike originally, so that was in great shape. The backrest on here had rust and whatnot on it, so my friend over at Cycle Paint did repaint the backrest. And he also repainted my trailer hitch, I guess you could call it, on this particular bike. I did have to have some work done. Once I got the fairing off and all this stuff off, we did find a leak on the fuel rail. So my good friends at San Jose BMW, who I really can't say enough about, they're really friendly people, excellent service, quality all the way through. The bike was actually originally bought there many years ago, but they have really excellent mechanics, fine people there. I am going to have them put on the, I purchased the original BMW engine protectors for the bike, and I'm going to have the people at BMW put that on. One of the things you have to do to put this on is you have to pull one of the engine mount bolts out, and I've decided that I'm going to let people with a lot more mechanical experience than I pull that bolt out and install this stuff. I just feel more comfortable having an ace mechanic do that work for me. But I do have the original style engine protectors, and so I am going to put those on. I did make another change with this particular bike. The stereo on this bike, the original stereo fit in here. This is monstrously heavy thing, and I found this little Shark unit on the internet, and I purchased this unit here. The original was a heavy CD unit, or not a CD unit, but a cassette deck type thing. It just weighed a ton, and it filled this whole thing. And so this unit right here is maybe 1/10 of the weight, and I can put an SD card in here and put my entire music collection on here. It was fortunately I was able to connect right up to the original wires and put the unit in, and I even used the original speakers and the original wiring for the speakers, and it really sounds great. I'll maybe make a tape of that later on. Also changed out the key on this to use a flat key, so I don't have something flapping in the wind in front of me. The speedometer, the trip meter on the speedometer did not work. So I took that over to Palo Alto Speedometer, and they did a great job. They had to change out the gears for the trip meter, and now my speedometer is up to snuff and working perfectly. Also on the front forks, I changed out the fluid and put in progressive springs on the front forks to replace the original kind of squishy springs in the front, and so that's going to improve the ride and handling there. But replacement BMW badges, and if you'll come around here, you'll see a couple of things. One, I've got a custom license plate for the bike. Enjoy that. And bought a new rear tire for the bike. The original tire was done, so I bought a new rear Metzler to match the front, and I replaced the original shock with a progressive shock absorber. These bikes and most BMW bikes are actually a little tall, so for guys like me with not a big inseam, the idea of a little bit shorter shock absorber in the rear was a plus for me. This is a minus 3/4 inch shock absorber on the rear, so that's a plus. I managed to find some new rubbers for the foot pegs, and then underneath here I had BMW people change out the sight glass, and I re-hot painted the bottom of the the crankcase over there. And so let's see if I've forgotten anything. Boy, honestly not, other than I did purchase a bunch of stainless steel hardware, which I'm going to slowly but surely change out on the bike as time goes by. But other than that, this is my 1985 BMW K100 RT. Oh, the original, I did change another thing, one last thing. You might wonder about these little scoops on here. The bottom panels here, I did find off of an 1100 on eBay. I bought these parts off eBay. Again, I'm kind of hoping that these little scoops, in addition to kind of making it look a little fancier, might improve also some of the airflow along the side of the motor to increase the cooling of the motor as well. So just little bits and pieces. It's other than that, it's a pretty stock bike. Nothing like the guy who does that stuff down southern LA. The incredible K100s that the guy does. I think if you're a real K100 aficionado, you probably want one of those. But for me, this is it. My restore is really for the most part complete. So hope you enjoyed my little odyssey, and happy riding.